and He-Man. Two great warriors in their own respective universes. Two heroes that are great defenders. Hi everybody, Mount Vernon Kid here coming to you again. How's everybody doing out there? Now this is not a versus fight, guys. This is something that I thought about for a while and it was going around in my head. So I thought I'd talk about it and get you guys input on it. Now like I said, both of these characters are great in their own respect. You got the Asgardian God of Thunder himself, Thor, Odin's son, and the Defender of Eternia, He-Man. But what would happen, what if Thor traveled to Eternia and met Prince Adam, aka He-Man? What would he think of He-Man, in a sense? So let's talk a little bit about this. Let's give a little bit for all those who, if you're living under a rock, let's talk a little bit about Thor. We all know Thor. Thor is one of the founding members of the Avengers, the God of Thunder. He wields the powerful hammer known as Mjolnir. He has gone and tackled some of the most greatest powerhouses in the Marvel Universe and has lived to tell about it. Now he can travel through the fabric of time and space with no problem, with ease. So what if he traveled to Eternia? Or what if he was just transported there? Maybe people have heard stories. Maybe he heard stories of this great warrior known as He-Man. And he wanted to see for himself what makes this man tick, and is he truly a great warrior as his reputation precedes him? Now, He-Man is a character, guys, that I grew up with. I'm a child of the 80s. I grew up with the character. I love him. Still love him to this day. And He-Man is known as the most powerful man in the universe. Now, many people argue that that's a lot of BS, But with He-Man, he's empowered by magic through the power of Grayskull. We all know when he lifts his magical sword, he says by the power of Grayskull, and Prince Adam becomes He-Man, Defender of Eternia, and he battles the forces of evil like Skeletor and his evil hordes like Evil Lyn and Trapjaw and Beastman and Merman, and even sometimes even Hordak, but that's mostly his twin sister She-Ra. But what if Thor met He-Man? What would he say to him? And how would he go about just watching He-Man in action, in a sense? Not battling, but just watching him. For me, guys, I've always been like this. Thor is no longer the brash, arrogant God that we knew way back in the days. He is more humbled, and he respects those great warriors that he stands behind, and he respects their strengths. He's not always trying to compete in strength. So if he was to meet He-Man and see Prince Adam first, and then see him transform into He-Man, I could definitely see Thor really having a lot of great respect for He-Man. Very much. Seeing that he and his legion, the Masters of the Universe, his allies, protecting his world, their world, against the evils of Skeletor. I feel that Thor would literally praise He-Man for his bravery, his bravado, his strength. I can see maybe a little bit of like testing strength against strength in terms of maybe, a fair competition. I can see that. But Thor would definitely be proud to align himself with He-Man, if ever He-Man need him. He-Man has never been shy to pretty much take away from help. He welcomes help. He's not brash and arrogant about it. You know, though he is pretty much one of the most powerful men on Eternia, he still accepts help, and that's something that I've always loved about him as well. But I definitely see Thor really, really even saying to him, thou art a worthy warrior. I would be glad to stand by your side. So, sorry about the cheap Thor impersonation, and I can see He-Man actually saying, and I would accept that help, friend. It would be even great to see Thor even take He-Man to Asgardia and meet the other Asgardians. And what would they think of He-Man? Volstagg and Hogun and Sif and Valkyrie and all the others, Fandel and all those. How would they look at He-Man? In a sense, would they say, is he mortal or is he demigod? As he is he as of Hercules or something like that? But all in all, Thor would really, really, in my opinion, Thor would really be 100% give He-Man a great applaud for his diligent effort to keep the forces of darkness, which is Skeletor, at bay. I can even see Thor even introducing He-Man to the Avengers, in a sense. But the most important thing that I wanted to get from this is just that I don't see Thor. I see Thor just really applauding He-Man as a warrior, as for his power, his allies, you name it. That's how I look at it. This is just something I thought would be really interesting to get you, my subscribers, some input on it and see what you think about this. So I didn't want to make this too long, but I want to know from you guys, what would happen? What would Thor think of He-Man? Give me your input. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear every nitty gritty of it. As always, keep it real. Just give me your input. And other than that, this is Mount Vernon Kid saying peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real, guys. As always, I'll catch you guys on the flip flop, and let's hear from you guys.